You guys better watch out because this anime is literally going to replace your favorite one even better than Jujutsu Kaisen. And if you like frieren, then you better buckle up your seatbelt like our boy here because your mind is about to be blown. Anyways, it always starts with truck-kun, so don't be scared if you hate watching people get reincarnated into another world. So this loser deserves it anyways because he hated everything, so he isn't going to miss anyone or anything, especially the fat zero in his bank account he's leaving behind. Nonetheless, shortly after getting clapped by truck-kun, our boy Kang finds himself getting Team Flash and transported into another world, but all he hears is a dragon's roar. Eventually, he can finally see after the light clears up from the Phoenix Flash, but all he sees are a bunch of tens gifted with not only tremendous magic, but also very tremendous and soft personalities, if you know what I mean. As Kang continues to descend down upon the army of mages who happen to be all girls, Bro is beginning to think he's just getting pranked. Meanwhile, the mysterious glowing lady on the other end of the room flashes a smile, telling her comrades that our homie undoubtedly has the energy of a dragon. Regardless, upon Kang's feet finally touching the ground, the mysterious lady shouts and welcomes our boy to the country of dragons, which we promptly learn is named Sultan. The lady then introduces herself as the Queen of Sultan, who goes by the name Burr. But I do admit Burr do be looking like prime a 5-wagyu that any of you would love to devour. Anyways, as she continues to explain to Kang where he is, a magic circle begins encircling his feet, and once it finally became still, Burr confuses our boy by appointing him the rank of Supreme Knight Commander. Of course, Kang is totally shocked at what the heck is happening, so he takes a peek around only for him to realize he's surrounded by female knights only, so it looks like he might have hit the cultured anime jackpot. Still, Kang is a man of zero words as he continues to stay silent, but since he's a weeb and have watched so much anime, he tries to see if he has any powers to no avail. Bro then accidentally lets one rip and stinks up the whole room due to his anxiety, but luckily for him, one of the mages interrupts his oofsie and informs the queen that Kang indeed has the energy of a dragon. However, there's a small catch: the energy is really faint because it only makes up 3% of his body, and upon hearing the revelation, red energy begins to circulate around the lower parts of his body. At this point, the energy doesn't move anywhere else, so the girls inform him that the dragon energy can only be found in his hidden tamed beast beneath the diamond-plated pants. Fast forward 10 minutes later, Kang finds himself right behind Burr, who's trying to explain how he's had draconic energy even before he reincarnated. But Bro is getting distracted by the ice cream cake that keeps smashing together in front of him. So as she continues to yap, his actual mini-dragon starts the rumbling down below like my boy Eren. But I don't blame him since it'd be hard to stop the Phoenix from rising after witnessing a crazy double-decker. Unfortunately for Kang though, someone else catches him being a supreme sussy baka in 4K, so within the blink of an eye, a real sword appears out of nowhere, causing Kang to finally snap back to reality. A silver-haired beauty then appeared, but she happens to very much look like an elf, ordering him to stop and ends up calling Kang out by asking what the heck he's staring at. Bro then quickly diverts his gaze and acts like he was zoning out due to ADHD, but the elf does not look pleased, and let's just say, if we scroll down the scene any lower, then the family-friendly police will come knocking. Nevertheless, just as the elf was about to teach our boy a lesson to not be a sussy Becca, the queen saves the day and swiftly stops the elf, wondering what's going on. So upon calling out her name, we learn that the silver-haired girl is named Ardella. Now unable to punish Kang for trying to be a Chris from Mr. Beast, Ardella angrily points out that the outsider from another world has been busy staring at some very well-crafted cheesecake the entire time Kang and Burr were on a walk. And with Bro caught red-handed, he doesn't make his case any better when he looks down and realizes that his special dragon can now be seen trying to escape the prison in between the zippers, so it looks like it's over for our homie. Luckily for Kang, Bro somehow gets away with it since Burr surprisingly latches onto him to get in between him and Ardella, where she even goes as far as to order Ardella to sheath her sword while defending Kang for being a sussy baka. Burr then uses some mental gymnastics to explain that it's not his fault since Kang is half dragon, so his powers are probably acting up at this very moment. Suddenly, the Fire Nation attacks when Ardella instinctively knees our boy right where it matters to try and calm down the banana-flavored ice cream popsicle, refusing to believe that Kang is the chosen half-dragon. Nonetheless, after directly making contact with his third foot, Ardella stares Kang down while pressing her double blue eyes white dragon against our boy, claiming that there is no reality in which he's half-dragon. She then continues on berating him in front of the speechless queen, continually getting bounced back and forth due to insane density of her twin pyramids of Giza, warning Kang if he continues to be a sussy baka, then it will all be game over very soon. But right before Ardella could continue making king-level threats, Burr finally steps in and interrupts her mid-sentence, asking her to leave Kang alone, but we all know Bro is trying his hardest right now to not accidentally explode the volcano after Adela was properly using her twin cannons. At the same time, Kang continues to not mutter a single word, so this dude is literally worse than Link from The Legend of Zelda, but luckily for him, Adela finally stops attacking him when Burr had to pull out the bestie. "Please can you do this for me" card. Now with our boy free to move again, he ends up arriving at the Queen's personal tea drinking area where he is greeted by a fox maid, so it already looks like the sussy Firemation is about to invade his brain again. It's then revealed that Bro is a special one, since we discover that it was actually a dream of his to meet a real-life girl furry, especially ones with real tails, so this dude truly is a sussy baka. Nevertheless, with the fox maid swiftly filling up his cup of tea, the Queen sits down in front of him and reintroduces herself as the dragon Sintes, where she tells him that it's an old Sultan tradition for a half-dragon to become Knight Commander to defend the entire country. However, Kang replies by saying he's not sure if he can believe any of this, and besides, he doesn't feel welcome in this fantasy world due to his encounter with Adela. As such, Burr personally apologizes for her behavior in her stead, and explains that Adela isn't usually like this, but the circumstances are a bit awkward since the two have been childhood friends and she even happened to be the previous Knight Commander before he teleported into this world. Regardless, our boy doesn't seem like he can be convinced to take up responsibility, so he tries to make an excuse if they are even sure he has dragon blood in him, since he literally feels exactly like the same old loser. Upon hearing Kang seemingly doubt if he really is half-dragon, Burr blushes and summons the fox maid. So now my sussy alarm bells are ringing after hearing Burr ask Ryle to help him out. Suddenly, the fox maid Ryle teleports in front of our sitting Kang, where she then lowers herself and proceeds to unbuckle the front driver's seat that contains the mythical dragon fruit of our boy. Now the crazy part is that Ryle looks like she isn't even bothered by her actions. Instead, she looks like she's about to fall asleep after grinding the third seat all month. Eventually, she uncovers the Ender Dragon from Minecraft, but the dragon was so large that it accidentally slapped her in the face. But she didn't mind, so she ends up clapping the dragon using her patented mouth-breathing technique to send Kang to the sussy dimension. Suddenly, his dragon chicken strip turned red, causing our boy to freak out, but the Queen tells him to relax, mentioning that it's all fine and dandy, since this is just Real's magic taking place. Anyways, with Kang calming down due to Real being a suction cup from another world, she almost chokes from the red chicken strip, so she instantly turns around to the Queen and informs her that she's 169% sure that Kang is half-dragon, causing Burr to look like she's about to pass out. At this point, Bro looks like he's just being chilling, even though his banana split sundae is getting finished by Real, so he ends up asking if the tattoo he has actually proves he's half-dragon. Now me personally, if I showed up to another world and my dragon long sword now has a new mark on it, plus it glows red, when a fox girl tries to 1 versus 1 duel me, then I am going to believe everything they say. Nonetheless, even with proof that he actually is half-dragon and getting a chance to live his dreams with a fox maid, Bro turns to the Queen and lets her know that he hasn't said anything about accepting the Knight Commander rank. As such, the Nation of Women tells him it's okay if he can't decide right now, so they end up giving him a very posh and large room to rest for the night, although Bro looks like his life force went to zero thanks to Real. Now back to his lonesome self. The first thing stuck on his mind is how he can't play Roblox anymore, even though the dude just got his corn dog destroyed by his dream girl. Mere seconds later, after thinking about how much he's missing out on, especially not being able to try out the game of the year in Black Myth Wukong, he gets ganked by Adela outside his room, who's eager to ask him why he won't take the position of Knight Commander. Initially, Kang teases her by saying he doesn't want to steal her rank, but things got serious when the lights dim and he learned of the lore behind the Knight Commander of Sultan, as a half-dragon hasn't appeared since the 3rd century. And since the nation is basically powerless without a real half-dragon defending the country, Sultan is in danger of collapsing, as most nobles want Burr out of power so they themselves can take the throne from right under. Adela then reveals to him that although she absolutely hates sussy men like him, he's pretty much their only choice to protect Burr from foreign invasion, since she knows time is running out and at any moment, Sultan can turn to dust without a true Knight Commander. Nevertheless, Bro finally starts thinking about taking up the mantle, but he decides to sleep it off first. However, as he snores throughout the night, his door slowly swings open. Our boy was not expecting any visitors at this hour. 2 seconds later, he feels something heavy on top of him, and spoiler alert, it wasn't Zion Williamson. Instead, Kang opens his eyes to find Adela mounting the closest weapon on him, and this time it looks like her entire personality has switched at 180. With Kang still half asleep, his life flashes before him as he thinks he's about to meet the devil, but he fails to realize that Adela is looking very sussy. Luckily for him, she starts mumbling about how the Queen will be in really bad trouble if he isn't a real half-dragon. As such, Erdella initiated her own 1 versus 1 duel with our boy by quickly inspecting his Dragonite, but as she does so, she says Spanish or English so bro doesn't dare move a single inch. Nevertheless, Erdella angrily whispers to him that she's going to personally verify the rumors about him being the chosen one, so she grabs onto his mythical fruit and starts playing with his PlayStation controller as if she's playing a fighting game. The turntables then turn when Erdella latches onto his fighting stick like a maniac, trying to beat out Zero with all her might, but she stops for a second and scoffs at Kang for looking like he's enjoying the fight. Suddenly, the crazy elf whips out her trusty sword and tells Kang that if he can't stop the lava from exploding due to his volcano erupting, then she's going to take it as a sign that he's full human, so it's time to get rid of him. Now with Bro actually facing the threat of banishment from this world any second, even though it's been barely a day, he tries his hardest to stop the volcano from going off, but it looks all of his efforts will be futile. Nevertheless, Erdella continues yoinking the fighting stick as if her favorite Minecraft SMP server just reset, easily causing Kang's dragon to continually glow due to the mark bestowed upon him as he tries his hardest to keep it all in. However, Bro knows he's no match against the gorilla grip of Erdella, so Kang attempts to pull a big brain move to relieve the blood flow rushing down by distracting the elf with the help of the glass bottle conveniently beside him. Sure enough, his big brain move pays off more dividends than Starbucks, allowing Kang some short reprieve as Erdella lets go of his super excited controller for a few seconds. Shortly after, Erdella turns her attention back to our boy and whips out her sword, which is actually almost as big as Kang's dragon, and tells him to stop playing games as the two hero maids scurry right outside his room's hallway after hearing the glass break. This time, she ain't playing no games other than Deadlock, so Erdella informs Kang that one more dumb move will actually lead to him hoping he gets reincarnated one more time. Luckily, a bunch of maids with no eyes come to the rescue last second, so we all know things are about to get real as they suddenly barge through his door in hopes that nothing happened to the future savior of the Kingdom of Sultan. However, much to my surprise, Kang's dragon plate legs somehow are already back on in time, so he apologizes and tells the maids not to worry as he apparently accidentally knocked over some glass while he was sleepwalking. So it seems like the Sussy Nation won again as Erdella was able to escape detection like Solid Snake as she was able to quickly jump out his window in time. But Kang is left fearing for his blue eyes white dragon as he knows snitches get dragon stitches. Fast forward to the next morning, Bro gets a flashback to his 9-to-5 life as he had to wake up early, but the only difference this time is he's forced to train and he didn't even get to explode his ice cream cone in peace last night. To make matters worse for our boy, the one leading the training this morning is none other than the sussy baka that is Erdella, but it seems like his secret weapon hidden underneath is starting to wake up at the sight of the elf. Regardless, rumors about how Half-Dragon has finally appeared after centuries have started to spread within the court of the queen, but the dudes seem jelly that an alpha Chad has finally showed up. Suddenly, as Bro is just being chilling minding his own business not bothering anyone, a sword comes flying in from nowhere which almost gives him a perm without him even visiting his barber and asking for one. One blink later, Erdella pulls the sword out from the wall and sarcastically apologizes for almost destroying our boy, claiming that her hand accidentally slipped, but she better choose her words carefully since Kang will accidentally slip his hand somewhere else. However, Bro literally says nothing throughout the entire ordeal, and the only sound he makes is him looking over his shoulder trying to do his best quiet John Cena impersonation, causing Erdella to finally tell him he needs to be on alert at all times since this is the dueling area after all. But the turntables turn when Erdella calls him a fraud, so Bro finally claps back with a menacing aura by thanking her for her advice and advises her to retire since an ex-Meg commander would never let a sword accidentally slip. Unfortunately for Kang though, Bro didn't expect the fiery elf would actually channel her inner One-Punch Man skills after hearing a lowly human try to clap back against her, so Kang instantly falls to the ground. After finding himself on his knees totally winded, Erdella reminds him that he's nothing in this kingdom until the queen officially conducts a ceremony for his official title, so until then he's just a nobody from Edward Gaming. Erdella continues on, urging Kang to pick up the sword to challenge her to gain her respect, but something can be heard clicking in Kang's head after getting belittled over and over by Erdella, exactly just like his life before on Earth as he got trampled on by everyone. This time, however, he's had enough. He's not going to sit back and take it like he always did. And to be clear, we aren't talking about him dropping the soap, so Bro ends up taking the opportunity to finally make a stand to become a man. Upon accepting her challenge, Erdella wastes no time as she swiftly rushes forward to gap close the distance like a real jet entry onto sight, yelling out loud it's time for trash to learn where they belong. However, with Kang's impending doom right before his eyes, he tries to get into defensive stance since he literally has zero skills, and the only thing he knows comes straight from video games. but his sword is stuck in the ground. It's over now for our boy as he realized he got super baited by Ardella, knowing full well he didn't have the strength to remove it. But right before Kang was sent to the Sussy dimension, Bro comes out of nowhere and tries to be his shield like an absolute Stacy, ordering her best friend to stop at this very moment, as this is more outlandish than eating raw meat since Bro is the chosen one. Nonetheless, Bro is able to once again save our boy, so Bro sits down in absolute shock as he keeps getting saved by a girl, and it's usually not like him to always bottom frag and to get carried by a random girl that locked in Reyna. Nonetheless, Bro profusely apologizes in behalf of Ardella, but she wonders what the heck got into both of them to straight up duel to zero, since Ardella is literally the greatest swordsman of the Eastern continent as her power level is over 9,000. Even if he is a half-dragon, her experience greatly outmatches him, so there's no way he would stand a chance at his current state, so Bro ends up informing him that she suspects Ardella doesn't think he's worthy, and thinks things might not become easier even after he officially gets crowned the Knight Commander. As such, after hearing the revelation that Ardella is indeed saltier than the Dead Sea, Bro tells Bro to not worry since he has a plan to make her accept that he is actually a true half-dragon. Kang then quickly gets up from his seat, faster than me when I have to go to the bathroom, so he rushes past the queen, informing her that he's going to strike while the steel is hot and he will for sure be back in time for dinner. Upon seeing the newfound resolve of the half-dragon, the queen smiles and quietly wonders what changed in our boy, but all she hears is Bro mumbling that he's going to show Ardella who's on top from now on, causing my sussy senses to begin tingling. Mere seconds later, Kang confidently grabs a bottle of water and proceeds to spill enough to fight off the Californian wildfires on Ardella's head, whilst ordering her to fight him, causing everyone within line of sight to visibly get lockjaw from all the gasps echoing throughout. Even the queen looks like she's about to pass out from the crazy insulting display as she knows Bro is about to get cooked in front of everyone, and this time she's not going to be able to hold back Ardella from destroying him outright. However, after accepting his request to duel to Life Force Zero, we get fast-forwarded to nighttime where we discover Kang wanted the duel to happen in his room and without the use of any swords, which totally confuses Ardella. Now me personally, if I was Ardella, Bro would find himself in another dimension right now, but it looks the sussy turntables have turned, and this time it's Ardella finding herself backed up against a wall with nowhere to go. Nevertheless, her ego has grown so big combined with her desire to absolutely destroy Kang with all her might has made her IQ drop into the double digits, unable to realize that the Sussy Nation has arrived and it looks like it's going to start with her. As Ardella mocks our boy for thinking he can beat her swordless in close combat, Kang smirks knowing she didn't account for the fact that Bro actually has a secret weapon, and it's even sturdier than a diamond sword with maxed out perks. As such, Kang whips out his secret ender dragon in front of Ardella, but she just laughs at him, calling him dumb as bricks as she reveals that since she's a royal elf, she has a mana shield that protects her boat from being invaded and it's literally unbreakable. Bro then watches on as Ardella transforms into her Freaky Friday mode where she begins trying to entice the Chosen One into attempting to use his real dragon to beat her mana shield 1 versus 1 by flashing him with the sight of her precious treasure. However, she informs him that if he tries to do anything sussy against the mana shield, then the shield will instantly shred any normal man's dragon longsword faster than a kitty can react. But with Kang wanting to prove himself, our boy loses all of his logical preservation instincts and proceeds to attempt a 1 versus 1 duel against her shield. So Bro channels his inner Malphite skills and goes for the touchdown. Right before his ultimate makes contact with Ardella, Bro closes his eyes not wanting to see what's about to happen, but a flash of blue light began filling the room after Ardella's mana shield shatters from a single hit of the half-dragon. And before they knew it, Bro was able to sink her ship with one shot, causing Ardella to quickly conform to the shape of the dragon handler, so a loud audible gasp louder than Chicago's South Side rang throughout the palace. At this point, Kang stared into the soul of Ardella whilst thanking his master, the pervy sage, for all the tips he's given him, so now it's time for our boy to use his sussy jutsu to full effect. With their 1 versus 1 duel totally underway, Ardella is basically stun-locked due to the sheer force of Kang's attacks, causing her to be in absolute disbelief.